Bundesliga's history. It's a matchup that's seen titles won on both sides. And at times, it's been no holds barred. We've gathered together the best moments from this heavyweight clash, and there have been so many to choose from that have been so important. Without any further ado, check out the top 10 moments between Bayern and Werder Bremen. For number 10, we've got Sepp Maier, Gerd Müller and Franz Beckenbauer, football royalty. The story wasn't the 3-1 scoreline in 1965, or even the fact that newly promoted Bayern won this encounter with Werder. It was, however, the emergence of that Bayern talent. Beckenbauer got on the score sheet with the final goal of the day. In footballing terms, a star was born. The game in at number 9 was a big one for this man, Jupp Heynckes. The match between Bayern and Bremen in February 2013 was his 1000th in the Bundesliga as either a player or coach. His Bayern team helped the celebrations along with a demolition of Werder. Bayern were already 2 goals up thanks to Ian Robben and Javi Martinez before Bremen's task got a lot harder. Sebastian Pödl saw red in the first half. Theodore Gabri Selassie added to their woes by scoring an own goal. And the goals just kept on flowing. Kevin De Bruyne got a consolation, but it came down to Ribéry and then this man, Mario Gomez, to finish the job. 6-1, and Jupp's big day had a big scoreline. In 1991, this was the scoreline after 52 minutes. Bayern 0, Bremen 3. Cue a crazy remainder of the match. Marzinho's kung fu style equaliser marked the start of the comeback. Before the match's most bizarre moment, Bremen keeper Oliver Reck's big blooper. An own goal worthy of any top 10. And the pressure was on after this howler, but Uli Borovka relieved it a little by making it 4-2 to Bremen. Only then to see Marzinho score once more. No wonder Otto Rehhagel was calling for the final whistle on what was Werder's first win at the Olympic Stadium. But if that was crazy, just hold on a minute. In November 1985, German international Klaus Augenthaler was less than friendly to international teammate Rudi Völler when their 2 club sides met. An awful tackle that put Völler out of the game for 6 months. Believe it or not, Augenthaler only saw yellow for this incident. And it was part of a very ugly encounter. Later in the match, Lothar Matthäus did see red for a little over-exuberance in his retaliation on Bruno Petzai. If after this horror show you're still interested in the rest of the match, Bayern won 3-1, but it was totally overshadowed by the on-the-pitch violence. At number 6, the home debut for Bremen goalkeeper Raphael Wolf, and the biggest home defeat in Werder's Bundesliga history. And the first goal conceded in this disaster.
And it was deflected by Leukemia. Own goal.
That opened the floodgates as Bayern went to town on beleaguered Bremen. It was 3-0 at the break, and the then reigning European champions didn't take it easy on the Northerners. It was 4-0 on the hour, and the visitors would add 3 more before time was up. In total, goals from Van Boyten, Mandzukic, Müller, and 2 from Ribéry. Oh yes, and 1 from this man.
Mario Götze gets his goal. 7-0 Bayern.
It's a game no one can forget, especially Raphael Wolf. What could cause reactions like this from Bayern? Perhaps the fact that in 2008, Bremen were the ones handing out an Oktoberfest hiding to the Bavarians. It was raining goals in Munich, and it was another awful afternoon for a goalkeeper. In this respect, Michael Rensing, who was on the end of goals from Marcus Rosenberg, Naldo, Mesut Özil and Claudio Pizarro. But 4 goals certainly weren't enough for Bremen that day.
Oh dear, what a mistake! It's number 5! Rensing is having a horrific afternoon!
It was players with a connection to Werder who scored all the goals that day. Ex-Bremen man Tim Borowski scored twice for the hosts. But a 5-2 defeat at home, so very un-Bayern-like. In 1995, in a strange twist of fate, Bremen coach Otto Rehhagel arrived in Munich with Bremen for his last game before moving to, guess who, Bayern. His parting gift after 14 years at Werder should have been the title. It didn't exactly go to plan. Bayern took the lead through Christian Ziege, before a man more famous for his time at Bayern, Mario Basler, levelled from the spot. Bremen needed to win to be crowned champions. Instead, 2 goals from the hosts Alexander Zickler took the title out of their hands and made sure that Dortmund lifted the Meisterschale. Hardly the sign-off that Otto had in mind. We stay in Munich for another title decider. Quite literally, the 20th of May 2000, Bayern versus Bremen, and in the Munich suburbs, Bayer Leverkusen were playing away at Unterhaching. Bayern had to win against Bremen and hoped that Leverkusen fell on their swords. The Bavarians certainly did their part. Carsten Janker got a brace, before Paulo Sergio got the third with a swagger in a 3-1 win. All they needed to know was what happened at Unterhaching. Well, Leverkusen could probably hear the roars of delight emanating from the Olympic Stadium at the news of Michael Ballack's own goal and Leverkusen's 2-0 defeat. Bayern won the title on goal difference. You just couldn't make this stuff up. Remember the match where Rudi Völler suffered an injury that put him out for 6 months? His comeback was also against Bayern on the 22nd of April 1986, the penultimate match day of the campaign. A win for Bremen over Bayern would seal the deal for Werder. So when Bayern conceded a dubious penalty in the 88th minute, this was the time for Bremen. The controversy, Soren Lerby clearly didn't handle the ball. The man to take responsibility, Michael Kurzop, who'd never missed a Bundesliga spot kick until this point. In fact, it was the only one he ever missed, and it cost Bremen the title. The match finished 0-0, Bremen lost on the final day, Bayern didn't. Bayern became champions again on goal difference. But the crowning moment of the lot goes to Bremen, because when it comes to deciding the title, they did it in Munich and with a couple of matches to spare. And in what style? 3 goals in the first 35 minutes had the champions to be on course. The men of the day, Ivan Klasnic, Johan Miku, and the icing on the cake was provided by Ailton. Bayern did score a consolation, but nothing was going to spoil Bremen's day. The Bundesliga title, as part of their double-winning season, was won in their rival's backyard. That was a decade ago.